as Sam Russo plays the national anthem. And now the Boy Scout Troop 61 will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color guard, please post the colors. Jace, front center. Will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Table, please remain standing. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard, dismissed.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. We gather here today to honor and thank our veterans. As the granddaughter of a colonel in the United States Army, the sacrifices and service our veterans have shaped our nation and inspired us all. We are incredibly grateful for their courage, dedication, and commitment. Welcome and thank you for joining us to honor them. I would like to welcome Brownie Troop 3061 to come up and read a poem by Cheryl Dyson.
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we all think veterans just the same.
It is my honor to introduce Dan Nolan from the Patriot Guard.
Hey, good morning. Hello, everyone. Today I want to tell you a story not about superheroes and comic books, but about real-life heroes who ride motorcycles and carry flags. They are called the Patriot Guard Riders, and what they do is truly amazing. So who are they? Patriot Guard Riders are a group of people from all over the country. Many of them ride big motorcycles, and they love their country very much. But they're not just riding for fun, and they ride to honor and protect the men and women who have served in the military and as first responders. Now you might be wondering, what does honor mean? To honor someone means to show them respect, gratitude, and kindness. And that's exactly what the Patriot Guard Riders do. When a military veteran or a first responder, like a firefighter, police officer, or paramedic, is being remembered at a funeral or a special ceremony, the riders show up. They stand quietly with American flags, and they form a respectful line, and they make sure the family feels supported and safe. Sometimes they even help protect the ceremony from people who might be disrespectful. They don't argue or fight, they just stand strong and peaceful, like guardians of respect. But they don't only come to funerals. Patriot Guard Riders also attend welcome home events, memorials, and Veterans Day ceremonies such as this. They want veterans and first responders to know, we see you, we thank you, we care. So why is this important? Well, think about what veterans and first responders do. Veterans are people who served in the military to help keep our country safe. Some went to war, some helped during disasters, and all of them made sacrifices. First responders are the brave people who rush to help during emergencies, fires, accidents, storms, and you name it, many other things. These heroes don't always get the thanks they deserve. That's why the Patriot Guard Riders step in to make sure they're never forgotten. And that brings us to Veterans Day. Veterans Day is a special holiday where we say thank you to all the people who served in the military. It's a day to remember their bravery and their sacrifice. Patriot Guard Riders remind us that honoring these heroes isn't just something we do once a year, it's something we can do every day. So what can you do? Even if you don't ride a motorcycle, you can still be like the Patriot Guard Riders. You can say thank you to a veteran. You can write a card to a first responder, or you can stand respectfully during a ceremony. You can learn about their stories and share them with others. Because showing respect is something we can all do, no matter how old we are. So on this Veterans Day, let's remember the heroes who served and the riders who ride to honor them. Thank you. Oh, and one last thing. Don't forget to ask Santa for a motorcycle so you can ride it.
Next, I would like to bring up Jacob Armstrong and Ben Riddler to tell us about the 6 branches of the armed forces.
There are 6 military branches within the Department of Defense in the United States of America. Each branch contributes to the protection and well-being of not only our country, but many other countries as well.
The Army is the largest branch of the military responsible for land-based operations. The Army focuses on ground warfare and is equipped for a large range of combat scenarios.
Navy. The Navy is primarily tasked with maritime operations and protects U.S. interests at sea, as well as projects power globally. It operates ships, submarines, and naval aviation.
The Air Force. Focused on aerial and space operations, the Air Force conducts air superiority missions, strategic bombing, and transport. It also oversees missile defense and satellite systems.
The Marine Corps. The Marines are a force with rapid reaction, specializing in amphibious assaults and ground combat. They are known for their agility and are often first on the scene in crises.
Coast Guard. Under the Department of Homeland Security in peacetime, the Coast Guard performs search and rescue, law enforcement, and environmental protection missions, especially in coastal waters.
Space Force. The newest branch, established in 2019, focuses on space operations, including satellite operations, missile warning, and protecting the U.S. interest in space.
Each branch plays a unique role in national defense, with all operating under the Department of Defense except the Coast Guard, which is part of the Department of Homeland Security in peacetime. The high school band will play anthems of the 6 armed forces. Veterans, please stand or wave when the song from your military branch is played.
It is my honor to welcome Joe Miner, United States Coast Guard Marine Safety Specialist, Chief Warrant Officer 4, up to the podium.
This is always such an awesome turnout. This is such a great program. But good morning, Salem Washington Academy, shipmates, veterans, families, faculty, board members, and all of you kids. I'm Joseph Miner. I'm Marine Safety Specialist Engineer, Chief Warrant Officer 4. I'm retired now. I grew up not far from here in Whitehall, New York. And some of you may recognize me, not in this current mode, as Luke Miner graduated last year and he was my son. And I look more like a woodland creature than a military person. So he's doing great up at Crane School of Music. Miss G, I hope you had your lunch break back. Probably not.
I have new adoptees.
Mr. Eastman, I have on the phone with him for an hour last night telling me about a 7-minute song that he's finishing up with 2 pianos and 12 singers. Wow. So, yeah, that's the way that Luke does it, right? I'd like to make a special thanks to the teachers for cutting time out of your schedule, for having all of us veterans here. I know that several of you teachers schedule your time slots down to the minute. If Mr. Fraunhofer is here, thank you very much. And I just want to say thank you for all of us veterans for inviting us here today. This means so much to us. And lastly, Miss Stacy Parker, thank you for asking me to come talk about my 26-year Coast Guard career. And you really make me feel like I'm part of the community. So, the role of the Coast Guard. For those of us in the Coast Guard, service looks a little different than others. Our motto is Semper Paratus, always ready. Whether saving lives at sea, protecting our nation's ports, interdicting narcotics, responding to natural disasters, the Coast Guard stands to watch every hour of every day along the U.S. coast and beyond. You see, the Coast Guard is small. We're about 40,000 men and women. We always say that we're smaller than the New York City Police Force, which is true. And we are the smallest service, but we have been involved in every major conflict since our founding in 1790. What I'm about to tell you is my story, but it is not unique to me. This is what Coasties do every single day. And the Coasties are out there doing this job every single day. One of the things that makes the Coast Guard a little different is we move a lot. Every 3 to 4 years we move. So if you can keep track, this is where my 26-year career was. Long Island, New York. I lived in West Hampton Beach. I know, how terrible, right? Yorktown, Virginia, Cordova, Alaska, Woods Hole, Massachusetts, Manamana, Bahrain, Sitka, Alaska, Duluth, Minnesota, Morgan City, Louisiana, and East Providence. Out of my 4 kids, they were born all over the place. So that's just the way Coasties live. The first question I normally get about the Coast Guard is, what did I do in the Coast Guard? This sums up what I'm supposed to do here today, is talk about what I did. Do you want to hear the boring answer? The boring answer is I was an electrician. I was just an electrician. That's right, it's boring, I know. But there's a lot more to that story. You see, because the Coast Guard is so tiny, everybody has a million collateral duties. So I was a federal law enforcement agent. I did search and rescue. I was a small boat crewman, an engineer. And I taught tower climbing and tower rescue 150 feet up in the air. All as an electrician. I flew in H-60 helicopters covering 600 nautical miles of the Alaskan coast. I'm a combat veteran about Operation Iraqi Freedom. Trained on 9mm 45s, M16, shotguns, and 50 cals. And my favorite of all time, chasing pirates in the North Arabian Gulf. All as an electrician. Now, when I told Stacy about the fact that about the pirates, she's like, can you talk about them a little bit? There's one thing that veterans can do is talk. So, yeah, you see, I'm a Gen Xer. I was brought up on the movies of Goonies, Indiana Jones, Red Dawn. I was primed for adventure. Like I said, I was from Whitehall when I was a little kid. In the 80s, kids just did, well, anything except for be in the house. So me and my best friend were convinced that there were Russian submarines in the canal and in Lake Champlain. Yes, we used to stop at the police station on William Street and tell them we saw a submarine, it's coming after us. And we may have tried setting up a couple traps to snag some of the submarines. I know there's some lower units and small boats that I'm probably responsible for that are missing if you ever were fishing around that area. So, chasing pirates around the North Arabian Gulf and the waters of Iraq and Kuwait was right up my alley. I was always seeking adventure. What kind of pirates? It sounds old, right? Chasing pirates? There's piracy all over the world. It's pretty prevalent in many spots. So these are your basic pirates. You know, they were smuggling money, guns, oil, weapons. They would hang out in these old bombed-out tank ships that were in the shallows of the North Arabian Gulf. Now, they would use them for shelter and cover. They would live in them sometimes, and it was interesting. These aren't Johnny Depp kind of pirates. No, these are like Captain Phillips kind of pirates. They had these tiny little skinny boats that were really fast. They could barely be seen by radar, and they would disappear at a moment's notice. It was pretty fun. I had a great time doing it. You know, challenge accepted, chasing pirates around. But as an electrician, and I have a fellow electrician here too, actually the second female electrician in the Coast Guard, of all of them. As an electrician, I specialize in electric propulsion systems, power generation, remote site solarization, and automation. This set me up for my career as a warrant officer, which I am right now, a subject matter specialist, a marine safety specialist, engineer. As an advanced journeyman marine inspector, I inspected offshore oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico and foreign vessels at the Loop down in Mexico via helicopter. Landing a helicopter, I didn't land a helicopter, I was a passenger. But still, you're landing on an explosive platform. It's pretty fun. I responded to all sorts of marine casualties, ferry accidents, barges that run aground, all that stuff, and incidents where people get hurt. And then my final job was as I did new construction oversight. So I was the sole person that did new construction oversight for all commercial vessels out of Rhode Island. So from basically Boston to Watchung, Rhode Island. Including the first fully rigged tall ship built in America in 100 years, the Oliver Hazard Perry. There is a reason why we haven't built a tall ship in 100 years. And that's probably the last one that we built in a while. The other question is what was my favorite rank? For me, it was when I was a chief, or rather, the chief. You see, the Coast Guard and the Navy, we have chiefs, senior chiefs, and master chiefs. E739. They are the senior enlisted ranks. And we have a saying that says, go ask the chief. Enlisted personnel and junior officers often seek professional guidance and advice from the chief. Even commanding officers rely on the chief to solve technical, mission, or personnel problems. And a good chief will tell you one thing, just one thing, the truth. The unvarnished truth, as we say. Not an opinion and not a feeling, the truth. It might not be exactly what you want to hear. It might not be presented in the most eloquent manner or tone. And from a chief, the delivery might be a little salty or crusty. But it's the truth. That's the bottom line. Last year, your speaker talked about the importance of service. Service to community and service to country. This year, I'm asking you to strive to be the chief. Speak the truth, even when it's hard and unpopular. Stand up for the truth, the unvarnished truth, not just an opinion. It's not always easy, and it takes a lot of courage to do it right. And for those of you still standing on the watch on ships and stations across the world, know that the nation stands with you, forever grateful for your service. May we always be Semper Paratus. Thank you very much.
Hello and good morning. So good to see all of you here today. The next part of our program will involve our students performing for our veterans. Before we perform, I just wanted to talk about what the learning experience this was for our students here and how much this really meant to them. So the first song I'm going to do is with pre-K, first grade, or kindergarten and first grade. Our pre-K friends, they did really well holding out for as long as they could, but unfortunately they had to go. But they did work hard on this song and listen to the story. So the first song is 11-11 March, and that was to teach what Veterans Day is, the basics. Why we celebrate it, what it is, and when it is. So that first song was just the basics, teaching little ones what we're celebrating, why we're here. The next song that we are performing is for grades 2 through 4, and that song is called A Grateful Nation. And I had a very unique teaching experience having them learn this song, where I had an entire 4th grade class crying. there's no like instructions on how to handle this as a teacher really. So we had to do some bathroom breaks and some drink breaks, but it's because the words of that song meant so much to them. They truly understand the depth of the sacrifices that you make. So thank you so much. The young people of this nation see you and appreciate you. And I just thought it was really important to share before moving on to our performances. And with that being said, with our senior chorus members, that song is more of a reflection on what sacrifices could be made in your line of work. And that really hit heavy with them as well. So I hope you know that we appreciate you just as much as you appreciate this celebration today. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
this time, I would like to invite senior chorus members on the risers to sing our final song today.
I would like to recognize the veterans who are here today. Please stand or wave when you hear your name called. We will start with the U.S. Air Force, John Welch. Doug Hale. Courtney Hale. And Bailey Fifield. From the U.S. Army, Andy Irby. Perry. Leonard Jenkins. Brian Crozier. Barry Linendahl. Richard Barber. Mike Goldstein. Jonathan Shaw. Gary Slater. Larry McCauley. And Paul Dupuy. From the U.S. Coast Guard, Tony Smagelski. Joe Weiner. And Tina Myers. From the U.S. Marine Corps, Jack McKeegan. From the U.S. Navy, Arthur Irby. And Charlie Reed. And from the Patriot Guard, Dan Nolan. And Bill Dobies. Any veterans whose names were not called, please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your service. I would like to play a video that the Salem Film Club put together thanking the veterans.
Thank you for your service from the Salem Film Club.
I would like to welcome the Salem School Board President, Ann Dunnigan.
Good morning, everyone. Students, faculty and staff, veterans and families, welcome to this special day. Today we come together as a school community to honor and appreciate the brave men and women who have served our country in uniform. Their courage and sacrifice and unwavering dedication inspire us all. This is a wonderful opportunity to express our deepest gratitude for that service. To our veterans or those currently serving who are here with us, your legacy lives on in every class, every lesson, every act of kindness that we see here at school. You teach us the true meaning of putting others first, showing up even when things get tough, and standing up for what is right. Freedom isn't free. It's constantly defended by those who keep their promises, even in the smallest moments of discipline, perseverance, and integrity. You remind us that resilience and character are learned through service, sacrifice, and teamwork. To our students, I ask that you honor our veterans not just with words, but also with actions. Ask thoughtful questions. Listen carefully. Seek opportunities to serve in your community, whether it's through volunteering, helping your neighbor, tutoring younger students, working a food drive. Your contributions will reflect the values that you see in our veterans here today. Let's strive to emulate the virtues that our veterans embody: courage, gratitude, and a sense of duty.
Our students and staff who participated in this, and there are so many people to thank, and it's just I think we would all agree it's such a wonderful day for us to come together. So I really just wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who was involved from start to finish of the ceremony. And as we conclude this Veterans Day Assembly, let us remember the sacrifices made by our veterans. Their courage and dedication have secured our freedoms. Let us honor their service by striving to be the best citizens that we can be. Thank you once again to all of our veterans for your service. We appreciate you and honor you this Veterans Day. So please stand for the recessional as the Boy Scouts lead our veterans out.
Color guard, will you please retire the colors? Color guard, dismissed.